So today I want to talk to you about something that sometimes we don't even realize, and that is how there are three things that prevent us from being happy. And this is what it looks like. Number one, we are not wired to be happy because it was the way that we survived. That's how our human ancestry has been able to survive. That's why we're here, because they were able to be really cautious throughout their day to be able to, sleep safe at night wherever they had to and be able to ensure another day was going to come. Number two, we're not programmed that way. So when it comes to what our life has been like being raised, we have been watching and modeling throughout our entire life what people look like when they're worried, concerned, things are really, bringing them down. And so we watch this, so we get sort of programmed to go that direction to begin with. And number three, it comes down to our habits. Our habits are basically preventing us from being happy. See, we are sort of addicted to the drama. So when we hear those news on the television or on your phone, you sort of like dial right in, and it's really hard to pull you away from something. So what can we do about that? Well, I want to share with you something that happened to me today. I had this meeting that I was going into. I was a little worried about it because we're wired that way. And I was programmed to basically have a decision made based on what I had heard in the past. And at the end, I sort of suspected that the habits of what I had done was going to give me a certain outcome. So I went into the meeting sort of with my mindset like I was going to say no, and I was just going to stick to my guns, and that was going to be it. Well, something interesting happened during the meeting. One of the members was very joyful, very excited, smiled a lot, laughed a lot, really showed a whole different perspective on this topic that we were covering. And I'll be honest with you, I really thought, gosh, I like her, and maybe I might want to work with her. And then I thought, what would it be like to do this in this manner that I had been sort of resisting? Have you ever had that happen where you sort of go into something with this isn't going to happen, and then you walk away thinking it might happen? So I want to share that with you because this is exactly what some of the tools that we talk about when it comes to doing the membership and make it count. And so I wanted to share with you some tools that you can use today to make this happen. So when it comes to you worrying, I want you to write down, number one, everything that you are worrying about. If it's currently, let's say, the pandemic as your theme, talk about that as your theme. If it's, seeing how your children are going to school, talk about that or write about that. If it's about how I'm going to pay my bills next week, talk about that. Make it whatever is like most pending in your heart and what's causing all of that unhappiness, and just brain dump. Just take the time to just brain dump. Okay, so that's step number one. Out of that, I want you to pick your top three things. Number two, we are going to reframe those top three things. And we're going to want to reframe it in a way that we ask our brain, how can I make this better? So let's say my question or my conversation in my head was, I am never going to do this. This is not going to happen. Versus when I walked out was like, well, how can we make this happen? How can we benefit from this? And all of a sudden it started to shift. So we're going to reframe as your number two as a how to, and then you fill in the rest. And your brain's going to just sort of understand what you're trying to do, and it's going to start looking into things. Number three, I want you to write your story about all the past experiences, conditioning, conversations you've seen or you've heard about this topic, and just talk about it and title it My Story. And I want you to write it all out for yourself to really dive into it. Okay, because you're going to really see something there. And once you're done, I want you to review it and think, how did I come to this place when it comes to this topic, that I'm so worried or concerned or what have you. And then the last step, which is step number 4, is I want you to then take a look at the story and take a look at your current condition that you're currently living in, and how is it that that story, which is typically something that happened in the past, could have been in your childhood, could have been at some point in any experience, how has that affected what you're going through today? And that's going to be really telling, because from that point, you're going to start to see and shift the awareness of not feeling like you're stuck, not feeling like this is it for me. You're actually going to start thinking like, there's some possibilities here, and how can I shift my energy around to focus on the possibilities of how to make this work? How can I be successful? How do I stop worrying when it comes to something that you can't control? And the things that you can control, what would those look like? Thanks for watching. My name is Sonia Barker. I'm a business coach, and this is what I do every day. I help people take different perspectives in their life, and soon here we're going to be launching the membership site to make it count, and I hope you'll join us when you take a look at what's available if this is something that resonates for you. Hey guys, have a wonderful rest of your day. Make sure to comment below if there's something that resonates for you, or something that you're coming up, or some really good solutions to currently things that you're stuck by reframing it. Talk to you guys soon.